Yeah. It's all right. Okay. We talk about Yaakov and Esav. So Vayisrotetsu Abanim Bekirba. Right. So so Rashi wants to know why they were struggling inside the womb. So Rashi says two pshatim. Right. That there's one that's the more well-known one, that when she passed by a base medrash, Yaakov wants to go out. She passed by a base avodah zarah, Esav wants to get up. But then Rashi says something else. Davar acher misroitzim ze im ze umerivim benachalas shnei olamas. They're further fighting over the nachla of two worlds. It's a little bit it's not understood. It's nothing to fight over. Yaakov will take olam haba, Esav will take olam hazeh. They both want both of them. And that's something which is a chashva nekuda that we're going to come back to. They both wanted both. Now you would think that Esav just wants olam hazeh and he just wants olam haba. They both wanted both, and we have to talk about that.
What does it mean wanting olam hazeh? What does it mean to want olam hazeh? What do you want, the physical world, or you want the physical world as a means of getting to the olam hazeh?
Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. But you see that they were fighting about both. Yaakov wanted olam hazeh also, and Esav wanted olam haba also. So the
you know the story about the Bitzel Pelleberg?
No.
Bitzel Pelleberg, he said, I don't understand what the machlok is.
Right.
How could you compare olam haba to olam hazeh? He
Right.
said he understood. After they made him the Rav in St. Petersburg, he said, Yech shvach shenda hava mina. They looked at a dumbfold, they didn't have any food, they had nothing. He said, what kind of olam hazeh is that? Once he saw what the guy made into olam hazeh, he got so well.
Anyway, so the so by the Leda, right? Right. We had Ochezes Ba'akev Esav Vayikoshmo Yaakov. Right. So the so Rashi says, Aviv Kol Yaakov Al Shem Achizas Ha'akev. Right. Call Yaakov because he's holding on to the heel. So you should have called him Achaz, because the heel belongs to Esav. Yaakov is holding. So he call him Yaakov Miloshan Ekev. All right. If he's because he was Oiches, you should call him Achaz. Okay. So the Rashi before that really is going on that, something which you have to understand. Yeroches Bakav Esav Simen She'ein Zeh Maspik Ligmor Malchusai Ad Shezeh Omeid V'Not Lahemeno. Right, so being Oches and Yaakov Esav is a siman. He's not going to finish his malchus until he comes and takes it from him. So, what do the words mean? He's not going to finish his malchus. He's not going to finish until this one comes and takes it from him.
Take it from there for one.
Yeah, but what do we mean? What do we mean finish? Like Esav doesn't. Right? Yeah, no, but there's ligmor malchuso. Einzeb maspik ligmor malchus. He's not going to finish his malchus. Just what do the words mean? Here's a charge. Yaakov is going to lead a revolution. It would be more understandable. But there's something else here. Ligmor malchusa. He wants to be goimer, and that's what the Ekev represents. The end. So after talk about it, he's not going to manage ligmor malchus. He's not going to manage to finish. Not going to manage to finish his malchus until he comes and takes it from him. So there's a little bit of this sort of.
Why did Esav have to be the first one to be born?
Right?
Why was he the first one to be born? Yaakov was supposed to be the superior one at the end. The brothers all went to Yaakov. Yaakov was the one who was born first to Esav.
Right.
Why did Esav have to be born first?
Okay.
Everything was to take away the kindness from God. He was born first. It was given to him. Everything was given to him. Because this is a rivalry, and one person always complains, the victim in his age, what we have today, everybody's a victim. Everybody has a kindness. Everybody has kindness. So he gave him everything, and he gave it all. For some reason, because Baruch Hu has to answer all the kindness. Notice the kindness that they put into Sukkah, got the son, the whole Dvatar you once told me about that. No, it wasn't you, it was somebody else that told me the Dvatar about it. Maybe it was, it's always to close the mouth of the man. So it's a kindness on you. Arayama said that. Okay, that's right.
Okay, so
Just interjecting one thought.
fine. Okay, yeah. So I want to go with the ties ligmor malchusa. He didn't finish his malchus until he came and took it from him.
But there must be some tachlis.
Ligmor. Let's ligmor malchusa, and he takes it from him. Ligmor malchusa. He takes the gemara of the malchus, and now it's at least beginning to make sense why it's called Yaakov. He took the heel away from him, the Akim Lashon Sof, like V'hoya Akev Tishmun. Hey, how are you?
I'm a little late.
Yeah, just a little bit. We just asked a question why Esav and Yaakov were fighting over both worlds in the womb. We asked why his name was called Yaakov. It's because he was holding. So you call him Ochaz, because he's being Ochez, right? You call him Yaakov. The heel belongs to Esav. And now we asked another question that seemingly this second question sheds light on the question we just asked. That Rashi says a drush. There's a simon. He was holding the akev. That ein zeh maspik ligmar. He's not going to finish his kingdom until he comes and takes it from him. So just one taich in the words. What does it mean ligmar malchus? Ligmar malchus. He's not going to finish his malchus until he comes and takes from him. Like what do the term mean? To be goymer malchus. Right? But this at least, sort of sheds light on the question we asked before. It seems that Yaakov takes Esav's heel away. That's why it's called Yaakov. He took the akev. He took the gemar. We're going to refine this in a second.
It doesn't put Yaakov into a good light. He's always taking, it's like two kids are fighting. One, like I have two twin grandchildren. One is always grabbing the toys of the other one, grabbing it away. It's just like Yaakov, his whole life was chasing Esav to take away what seemed like rightfully belonged to Esav. That's the thing.
So then we're going to get into this right now. So let's go back to a very problematic Rashi, one of the most difficult Rashis that I know. So Esav was born first, and now comes Yaakov. Shamati medrash agoda hadarsha lefi pshuto. I learned a medrash agoda that darsha pshuto. I don't know what's so pashut about this. Seemingly it's highly unpashut. What does Rashi say? Bedin oches b'akav. It was bedin that he was holding on to him, to Esav, to try to hold him back. Yaakov notes our teacher. Yaakov was conceived from the first drop from Yitzchak. Ve'esav min hashniya, and Esav came from the second. They were fraternals, right? They weren't identical twins; they were fraternal twins. So Tseuma, take an example. Mishvofer shapir ktsar. You have a thin neck bottle, right? 10 b'shtei avarim zu tachazu. Put two stones. One is on the bottom of the other. Thin, right? Thin neck. Hanachas rishon tetzachron. The one tetzachron, the one that went in first, comes out last. Right? The one that went in last will come out first, because the one that went in last is on top. Nimtzu Esav anotzu b'achron yotzer rishona. So Esav, who came from the second seed, came out first. Last in, first out. Right? V'Yaakov notzer rishona yotzer achron. So Yaakov, who was conceived from the first one, came out last. Right? Yaakov bola akvo sheyeh rishon leda kirishon liyitzira. Yaakov tried to be ma'akev Esav. They should be born first, just like he was conceived first. V'iftar svacha will be peter rechem, the first one comes out of the womb. V'iftar b'chor min adin. Right? Right? And it'll be, take it.
What the din should be.
Right.
The din should be that the second one comes out when there are twins.
That's right. It's not the halacha. It's not the halacha. It's like there's like a Yaakov had a taina. Yaakov has a taina. So I mean, and Rashi really says of minei ubei, right? He wants to be makivim because that's the halacha. Because halachically, whoever comes out of the womb first is the bechor, peter rechem, right? That's the din of peter rechem, right? So the first one that comes out of the womb is the bechor. So that's why he wants to hold him back. So he should be born first just like he was formed first. Being formed first doesn't mean squat. Right? And you're moed that. That's why he's trying to be ma'akiv, because it doesn't mean anything. So what's the significance? He was conceived first. Why is it given like episatina? Just like I was conceived first, I want to be born first. Right? If conceived first means something, they doesn't have to hold him back. Right? Elmai means nothing. And yet he has a taina because he was conceived first. He wants to be born first also. So his thing is the issue is a little bit is shver, to say the least. Right. So now later in the parsha, right? So Yaakov is posing as Esav, right? So he comes in and he talks, to the Yitzchak, very Edo, Yakum na Aviv, Yocham, etc. Esav doesn't talk that way. Kshalai v'amushcha b'nei, come here, let me feel you out. And he says, all right. He goes, he's hairy, the hands are hairy. He says, Hakol kol Yaakov v'yadayim yidei Esav. That's a dead giveaway. Like he says something's wrong, right? I mean, anyone could put on some, So no, Hakol kol Yaakov yadayim yidei Esav. What's Yitzchak Avinu thinking? What is he thinking?
Yaakov's a bigger dead giveaway than the yadayim yidei Esav.
Yeah.
Right. Take one.
Listen, right? He likes it. It's very, very strange. Right? Right? But Lamasa, what did he get? What did he get from Yitzchak Avinu with those brachas that he saw? Mitala Shemayim, Mishmane Oretz, Verov, Dagam, V'tirosh, the brachas for bounty. Right? Right? When he's now going off to Beis Lavan, right? He's going off to Beis Lavan. He's taking leave of Yitzchak and Rivka, right? So Yitzchak Avinu commands him go Paran, Beis of Besuel, and take a wife from there. V'kel shakai yivrachso 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 coming. V'itin l'chaz birkas Avraham l'cha u'lezaracha itach. The brachas of Avram, which include the Yerusha of Eretz, they go to you. That wasn't included in what he stole, as it were, by posing as Esav. Which means it seems that the Birkas Avram was always meant, for Yaakov Avinu. Now, he didn't have to steal that. So to explain all this and to understand the inyan that, the way the Avos, the Tkufasa Avos was supposed to end off with twins, with Yaakov and Esav. The Chazal tells, Gemara and Sanhedrin, Esav himself had a din of Yisrael Mumar. He was born Jewish. He himself had a din of Yisrael Mumar, but before Matan Torah it was possible to leave the religion mamish, so his kids aren't Jewish anymore. But he himself was a Yisrael Mumar. He was born Jewish. Right? So to understand all this, go back to the Brias Adam. Right, in the second account of Brias Adam. It says, Vayitzer Hashem Elokim es Adam offer min ha'abama, vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim, vayadam u'nefesh chaya. So Vayitzer Hashem formed is with two yuds. So Rashi deals with this. So Rashi says something else. Vayitzer shtei yitziros. Man has two forms. Yitzira Lolam Hazeh. He has a Yitzira, his Tzura of Olam Hazeh. V'Yitzira L'Tchias Mesim. He gets another Tzura by Tchias HaMesim. In Olam Haba, which is, as we know, the dawn of Olam Haba. Our behema sheno medes lidin lo nechsva b'yitzirasa shtei yudin. But when it says vayitzer by the animals don't have schar vonesh. They don't stand by the yom adin agadol, which happens at the time of tchias hamesim, because they don't get schar vonesh. They don't have that final judgment day. No, it's not one of the rise. I don't believe that's one of the rises brought in the Gemara. But that's what Rashi says. Man has two forms, shtei tzuros, right? Yitzira lolam hazeh and Yitzira tchias hamesim. So now, so what we're seeing from this Rashi, right, is a very interesting thing. That Yitzira l'tchias hamesim exists already. It's now in potential. It just becomes actual by tchias hamesim, because already from the get-go, man has shtei yitziras. Man has two forms, right? A yitzir for olam hazeh, and the yitzir olam hazeh is actual. That's what we're living with right now. And we have another potential form that gets, actualized by tchias hamesim, right? And it's a davar pashutu, right? That your potential, that surah for tchias hamesim, you have it as potential. And our Torah and mitzvahs, yes, that's right. You have a new tzura that's built to last forever, right? But it's you have it now already, but in potential, and needs to be actualized. And you actualize it, with your Torah and mitzvahs. Right? That's how you build up that tzura that goes from potential to actual by tchias hamesim. But man has two tzuras. Obviously the tzura you get by tchias hamesim, the way we paskin, like the Ramban, that after tchias hamesim you go to olam haba with that new guf forever. Right? So that's your tzura for olam haba. Right? But right now it's in potential. Right? You have it, and you have your earthly tzura that we know now. That's your actual tzura now. But which one is the tachlis? Which one is the tachlis? That's the goal, right? That's the goal. So even and this fits, the tachlis, right? The final goal is always the first thing you have in mind. Whenever you embark on a project, you have the goal in mind. Then you just figure out how to get there, right? Right, and that's the Indian of what we find throughout the Sfarim, the principle of sof, ma'aseh, machshava, tchila, right? And what does that mean? That it's there already in potential from the get-go, because that's the whole point, right? It comes in actuality at the end. The goal is the first in thought, right? And at that point it's in potential, right? But it's the last in action. It's last in actuality. Right, and that's the relationship between Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba, just like these Shtei Yitziros. Olam Haba hasn't happened yet. We haven't gone there yet. We haven't reached that point in history, right? But we know that the Rebbe Shem created the world to be mative. Like the Ramchal says in all his Svarim, to be mative, but he doesn't want to just give you Olam Haba, kacha, because there'll be Nahama de Kisufa. You got to work for it. So Olam Haba is the goal. Like he stresses in the Masur Sharm, his opening lines, that's your tachlis, sim kol mabato magamto, should be olam haba oriented. But that's the sof hamaisa, that's going to come at the end of time. But that was b'machshava tchila. He created all the worlds to give us that pleasure of olam haba. Just, we're not going to get it, straight away until we earn it, because that way, when we get there, it'll be rightfully ours, and it won't be, Na'amah de Kisur, won't be bread of shame. Right. So now this is also the difference between Torah and mitzvahs. Right? It's not for nothing that we always say Torah and mitzvahs, as if they're two different things. Right? In all the tefillas and all the chazal, you talk about oiskim b'Torah and mitzvahs. Why? What's the palginan? What is the chiluk between Torah and mitzvahs?
Torah is really studying it, and this is doing it.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
have to do.
Okay. We need to refine them more because also to learn, it's something to do. You got to sit down. You got to open the book. You got to concentrate. It's also a ma'isa, right? Especially as you're supposed to also say it, and not just absorb it with your eyes. For the shleimus hadavar, you're supposed to say every word that you learn. Right? The difference is like this. Right. So the difference is like this. In Olam Hazeh, we have Torah, we also have mitzvahs. In Olam Haba, you don't have mitzvahs. Hayom la'asaysam u'machar l'kabel scharam. Right, there's no, and Chazal add a pirush to that expression. Hayom la'asosam v'lo machar la'asosam. Machar l'kabel scharam v'lo hayom l'kabel scharam schar mitzvahs b'hai almaleka. Right. Today refers to Olam Hazeh. Machar refers to Olam Haba. We don't have mitzvahs in Olam Haba. We don't have mitzvahs there because there's no work to be done. It's reward time. Job's over. But we do have Torah in Olam Haba. We do have Torah because that's the Tzadik of Yoshef.
Yom Shekul Shabbos, you came to work. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Also about
Yeah. Right, but we do have Torah there because that's what it means. The Nenim Miziv Ashchina, the divine revelation that we bask in. That's all new, getting new insights into the Torah. Torah there is in Olam Haba because Torah is pure divine revelation. But of course, we're revealed of His will. That's what we know about Him.
We learn Torah, but we don't have to study it. It's nenim, it's very passive, but there's a mitzias of Torah there. That's the aura of nenim miziv ashchina. The Akash was megala tamei Torah kayadua. In that way, Torah really never changes. That's why a lot of people are not so anxious to get there.
Right.
It's a big base measure.
Yeah. So, right. Right. So that means that what's special about the tzura in Olam Hazeh, that's the tzura that does mitzvahs. The tzura of Tchias HaMesim is not going to do mitzvahs anymore. That's the tzura that goes to the world of reward, but it will learn Torah. It will have a mitzias of Torah. Right? But mitzvahs it won't have.
So why did God cry so much? The God cried so much. Because He loved Torah. He says,
but He wanted mitzvahs also. I'm not going to have tzitzis. He won't have mitzvahs.
There's no mitzvahs anymore.
There's
no purpose to it.
No.
Now you're at a much higher level at that point.
Yeah, but He wanted to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu because His mitzvah still, because He died while it was still Olam Hazeh, while it's still the Hayom La'asosa. Right, and then Olam Haba is no more mitzvahs, but He died while it was still Olam Hazeh. Right. So we're going to. So now let's now refine this even more as we are establishing our parallel categories. It's the difference between Maisa and Machshava. Maisa is only in Olam Hazeh. You go to work, you're plowing, you're there, whatever you do for your parnasa, so Maisa mitzvahs, is runs parallel to the Olam HaMaisa. Right? Hayom la'asosam. Hayom la'asosam. Today, do. So the mitzvah is called the ikar doing that you're supposed to do in Olam Hazeh, along with all the other doings. There's no Maisa in Olam Haba. There's nothing to do. Just to absorb the secrets that will be revealed to us. It's not Asiya. It's Tzadikim Yoshvim. V'atzrosem B'Rashem.
It should be a brain, just a brain. That's all. You don't need a book. You're not doing it.
No,
you don't need the answer.
No, because the guf also did the mitzvahs. The guf has to get rewarded also. And of course, the guf over there, it becomes ruchni. It's now, there's the Ramchal builds a whole model how in Olam Haba, the body gradually from the 8th millennium till the 10th millennium, gradually becomes more and more spiritual until it's indistinguishable from the neshama. So the body, there's a ruchni body. The body becomes ruchnius. But the body's got to go because the body did mitzvahs and the body's got to be paid. It's got to be paid. It did equal partner in the mitzvahs. Right? Okay, so that's really the difference between Maisa and Machshava. Right? And how apropos is it? Soif Maisa b'Machshava Tchila. What's at the Sof Maisa is Machshava Tchila. Have you ever heard the Sof Maisa is Machshava? When you get to the Sof Maisa, you get to the Olam of Machshava. Right? So, take a look. Bereshis. Very first word in the Torah. Right? Very first word in the Torah. So Rashi points out that it should have said Borishona. Initially, God created heaven and earth. Bereshit doesn't mean, it means the first. Because of the Tav at the end, grammatically makes it, it's like a thing unto its own. Right? So he's so Rashi's bothered by that, because it should have said Borishona.
It should say Bereshis something before anything else, before the Bria. That's Bereshis before it had more stuff. It's a sort of a conjunctive word together with something else. But it's
Bereshis Borat, not Bereshis Hashemayim Vorat.
So
right.
So say Bereshana before at the beginning, the way they're going to do it, at the beginning. God created it.
Now, so Rashi says, "Ena mikras omer elo dorsheni." Right. The Rashi gives a chrechem that it can't be. It should have said Borishona, the God first created. That's not what it means, literally. So he's mafal pulling this along. It's a long Rashi on Klali Adiktuk. So he says that the most straightforward pshat, because of the structure of the word, is because Dorsheni el Masha Dorshu Rabbi Seinu Bishul Lator Shekreis Reishis Ubishul Yisrael Shnikru Reishis Reishis Tvu Asai. Right, and he says if you want to be mafarish that it goes on Brias Shemayim words, this is how you read it. Long arichas of how you would, if you want to learn it that way, how you have to explain it. But it says easiest thing to say Bereisha. It's like the first. The first refers to Klal Yisrael and the Torah. First thing HaKadosh Baruch Hu had in mind. Klal Yisrael and the Torah. Right? There's the Reishis HaMachshav. Now, with this you can understand it's a very simple phrase. When Moshe Rabbeinu sent to Paro. So he's supposed to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu directs him to say to Paro, B'ni B'chori Yisrael. B'ni B'chori Yisrael. In what way? If anything, Hefech, were the last of the Shivim Amimim to emerge. Shivim Amim emerged by Migdal Bavel, and then Avram Avinu was selected, and he became an Am later on, some 400 years later, 600 years later, till we became a nation. The Shivim Umos came first. Right, so B'ni B'chor Yisrael. B'chor Yisrael Hashem Reishis Tvu Asai. We were first in thought. Now, of course, who envisioned, Adam, he meant Klal Yisrael. Just first in thought, but first in thought is last in action. Reishis HaMachshava. The Torah is the Reishis, but was given in the middle of history. The Maaseh, it came down at Har Sinai, after Yetzias Mitzrayim, a solid 2,400 years in world history, something like that. He was in the middle of the game, after all the other nations had formed. But it's Reishis HaMachshava. And that Reishis HaMachshava is the Sof HaMaisa. Because at the end of time, there's going to be one nation left. Mikam Koiso Goyecha Baretz. Parachar Eichad Keneged Uma Yechida. Because that's why we're called the one nation. Well, the one nation, there's plenty of nations. We're the one nation that's going to be left at the end of time. We're the one nation that Kodesh Baruch Hu had in mind. He didn't have in mind the Shivim Umos, and that was the Reish Machshav, and that's the way it's going to be. B'sof HaMaisa. In Olam Haba, there's only one nation, Am Yisrael. Even like a Ramchal's Marach, even Chasidim Olam that are in Olam Haba, they don't come back as a nation. There's only one nation in Olam Haba.
They come back individually?
As appendages to Am Yisrael. A malbush on Yisrael is the Lashon Ramchal and Derech Hashem. They don't have an individuality separate from others. There's one nation in Olam Haba. Goy Echad Baretz. Goy echad baretz.
That's after Mashiach, or that's after Tchias
After Mashiach, it becomes clear that's the way it's going to be because he rules over the whole world, and in Olam Haba, it's that way, mamish. That there's no, they don't. It's not even like a nation that's serving a nation. It's like no other national identity. Klal uchlal. By Mashiach, it's other almost subservient. In Olam Haba, it's mamish. There is no other nation, not even in a subservient type of way. There are levush on Am Yisrael. Right? It's self ma'isa, You saw shalu b'machshava tchila. There is self ma'isa, and that's the Torah also. It was the reishis hamachshava and it's the self ma'isa. Because when you get to self ma'isa, it's not going to be mitzvahs anymore. Only Torah. Right? That's the one nation Olam Haba, and there's only one thing to do in Olam Haba. It's just the Torah. Right? So the reishis hamachshava and the self ma'isa. But then there's, what's in between, right? Olam Haba.
Food. We eat?
And Olam Haba, the Ziv HaShechina, we live off the Ziv HaShechina.
Oh, that's here.
What about the Leviasin?
All right, that's all right.
Where's that too? That's here? Yeah, it is Olam Haba.
It is Olam Haba. There's a big machlokus about it, how if it's literal.
David benches with the kais.
Yeah, I know. They criticized the Rambam for saying Olam Haba is no guf, and it's called Suda Derech Mashal. It's one of the reasons the Rambam... The Sefer Amada was burnt, in France.
But the Rambam believed in this and this.
Avada, yeah. But he had fine. But he felt that after that we go to Olam Haba without a guf.
That's the difference between him and the Ramban.
That's right.
Held that the Iker is the guf.
Yeah. So like the Shita said, there is a guf. It could be it's a literal Ramban. The Rambam learns it all derech mashal. Right, but we survive off the Ziv HaShechina. That's our food, and that's a Gemara fresh. It's all Ziv HaShechina. Vayechsu esalokim vayochlu vayishtu. Your achil and yishti is because of vayechsu esalokim. Right, and that
like
all.
It's like man.
Yeah, but it's
a parallel. It's a parallel to the period of time that we lived in the Midbar, that we only learned.
Right. This is even hecher. We don't even have to eat the man. Yeah. But over here, this is even hecher. Directly, nizon from the Torah directly. The Or HaTorah. Nizon from the Or HaTorah directly. That's v'echso sokim v'yochlo v'yishtu.
Don't gain weight.
Don't gain weight. Right. But then there's the Mitzias of Olam Hazeh with the mitzvahs, which is necessary prerequisite. So you have the machshava that starts here, it's the reishis and it's the acharis, and you have the middle, right? Olam Hazeh, right, with the mitzvahs. So the difference between mitzvahs and Torah is really the difference between Talmid Chacham and Kohen. Right? The Kohen is Avodah. That's only in Olam Hazeh. It's Maisa, Korbanos, it's all, it's mitzvahs. What's special about it is HaKadosh Riba and Torah. Riba HaKadosh is b'mitzvahs. The Gemara says in a few places. Kohanim have the Mila that not all the positive commandments apply to us. Not all the they have even more mitzvahs. They are the seed. They are the apex. The avodah. They do even more avodah than we can. Right? That's the kohen, right? And kohen is nimshol lamalach kayadua, right? Kisif say kohen yishbu das tori v'ashul kimach Hashemhu. Malach sosim lashon shlichus hani kohani shluchi didan and they're shluchi deshmaya. They're shluchim, right? They're nimshol kohanim. The malachim kayadua. A Talmud Chacham is nimshal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu mamish. Es Hashem Elokecha tira, es l'rabos tamidei chachamim. And kayadua, even a mamzer Talmud Chacham is kaidem l'koyin gadol amoritz. Yakara hi mipninim. He's even yakar from the koyin gadol shenichnas l'pnai v'lifnim. Because a Talmud Chacham, even though he's living in Olam Hazeh, but he's davik in Torah, he's davik in the koach of Olam Haba. The koyin is like the apex of avodah.
That's a split between Moshe and Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But kahuna is for olam hazeh. In olam haba, there's no chiluk between kohanim, levim, and Yisraelim, because there's no avodah. There's no mitzvahs anymore. Because the chiluk is in mitzvahs, there's no mitzvahs anymore. Right? In olam haba is just Torah. And so that's what, because that mile the Talmud Chacham has, right, that he's davik in the Torah, so he's like in olam haba in his own lifetime. That's a side that the Sifra Chasidus says that the Amoraim, when they were nifrad, they used to wish each other, Olamcha tire b'chayecha. You have a shmek of olam haba even in your own lifetime, and that's shaykh by the Talmud Chacham because he's davik in Torah, and Torah is in this world and in the next. That's a unique koach of Torah. That's Yisrael Shnik Horatius and Torah Shnik Horatius. Right? But Torah is the ikar for the tzura l'olam haba. Mitzvah is the ikar for the tzura l'olam hazeh. The ma'aseh versus the machshava. So now we start to understand what's going on over here. Right? Yeah. And you can understand what Yitzchak saw in Esav. Right? Yaakov ishtam yoshev oholim. He was just sitting and learning. So Olo Shem ve'ever. Right? It was in the base medrash. Esav is an ish sadeh, a man of the field. The field is a makom of avoda. Avodat sadeh. It's the most basic avoda. Right? Bagan la'avda u'lashamra. That the and al pisod kayadua, all the mitzvahs that we do is called mechatzte chakla. We're getting the thorns out of the field because the mitzvahs that we do, uproots the thorn, uproots the ra from olam hazeh. That's why there are no mitzvahs in olam haba because there's no tikkunim to be made. It's a perfect world. Right? Esav ish sadeh. And that's Yitzchak Avinu understands that very well. Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach basada. He called Har Moriah Sada. He understands that it's all about avoda. Avoda. He called that place where the base picture is a sada. The sada is a makom of avoda. And kayadua, the Torah is more mityaches to chesed. The Torah's chesed al lashona. Avoda is gvura. Yitzchak Avinu's midah. Yitzchak Avinu is avoda oriented. That's what it says in all Svarim. Chesed Gvur Tiferes. Yaakov, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. It's connected Torah, Yaakov, avoda, Yitzchak, Milas Chasadim, Avram Avinu. The midah of Gvur is the midah of avoda. The midah of avoda. Avoda, you have to be mizgaber over your yetzer and go to work and do what you have to do.
It's Yira also.
It's Yira, right? And so Yitzchak Avinu was, he called it Sada and Re'ech b'nei kareach hasada sheberchu Hashem. He understand, he understood Esav's a difficult child, but necessary. So Yaakov Avinu was the Talmud Chacham. What was the Esav before Yaakov Avinu brought him out? What he was supposed to be? He was supposed to be the Kohen. The Bechorah that he bought off Esav was the kahuna. You get it? Esav was the Kohen.
It's the big kahuna.
Right? Esav was the Kohen. Yaakov was the Talmud Chacham.
One belongs to this world, one belongs to the world to come.
Right? And that's in the Ish Sada Avoda Asiya. So now you can understand that if Yaakov would have not bought out Esav, Am Yisrael would have been, our third fathers would have been twins. Because that was the Gemara of the Tikkun of rebuilding the Tselem that got lost because of Chet Adam Rishon. That's the side. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are buried together with Adam and Chav and Morasa Machpelah. At the end of the three Avos, all three of them are called Avos because it's a process to restore the Tselem that Adam Rishon lost. After the three Avos, we have the Shvatim. But we have three Avos because it was a 3-generation process to rebuild the Tselem. Yaakov Avinu was the spitz of that. Yaakov Chakuka B'Kisei HaKavod. He's the grand finale of the avoda of the Avos between the three of them, rebuilding the Tselem of Adam Rishon Besod. Atem Kurim Adam, Ve'ena Akum Kurim Adam. And it's before Shin Chazal, Yaakov and Esav were twins. Esav, looked like Yaakov. That's according to they were fraternal twins. Yeah, so yeah, but he looked, but they weren't identical, but they were very similar. They were going to be partners in this. They were going to be partners in restoring, being the spitz of the restoration of the tzelem of the Adam. Right? Esav looked just like Yaakov, very similar, and that's why, according to the Shita, that the one who killed Esav was Yehuda. So Chazal Sardashet Yodcha be'oref oivecha, that he had to. Yehuda, Yodcha be'oref oivecha. He just couldn't bear to kill Esav face to face. He looked too much like Yaakov. He had to kill him from behind. He just couldn't bear to kill him face to face. He looked just like Yaakov. Right. Yaakov and Esav were twins beside the Shtei Yetziros of Adam. They're the spitz of the restoration of the Tzelem. And the Tzelem has a potential and an actual. Right? The potential is the Sof Maisa b'machshava tchila, and there's the actual the Tzur and Olam Hazeh, and that was the twinship of Yaakov and Esav connected to Shtei Yetziros. So now listen to this, Nifla Moed. Right? Yaakov was conceived first and came out last. Now conceived, he rayom, miloshen hira, machshava, like conception, concept. Conceived first, came out last. He's the Sof Maisa, that's machshava tchila. And he's a Bechor. And he's a type of Bechor that every Jew is, beside B'ni Bechor Yisrael. Reishis HaMachshava. He was the first one. Right? He was the first one, but ever since then, all Klal is called B'ni Bechor Yisrael. Beside being that type of Bechor. And that's beside Keser Torah Munach Lakol. Kol Mishir Tzalito Yovav Yito. Keser Torah, which is the Reish Machshava, is Munach Lakol. Every Jew is equally have Keser Torah. Right? So he's the no Tzaviti Poshar is the Reish HaMachshava. And that's why he's the Sof HaMaisa. Esav was for the Tipa Shni, he's not Reish HaMachshava. But since he's not Reish HaMachshava, he comes into the Olam HaMaisa first. Coming out of the womb reflects coming into the Olam of Maisa. Right? So he's, so that's in of Peter Rechem, first one to enter Olam Hazeh. The Bechor of Olam Hazeh. As opposed to the Bechor of Reish HaMachshava, the Bechor of Olam Haba. Right? So Yaakov says, I'm a Bechor. And Esav's a Bechor. I want both Bechors. Of course, since the Tachlis is Olam Haba, the Tachlis is Olam Haba, the Tachlis of Mitzvah bringing Olam Haba, so the Bechor of Olam Haba is a Shaychus, as episode Tviyah, because I'm the goal I'm this guy's goal. So you understand that he has the potential, right, to be the Bechor of both, because this guy is going to be the Bechor of Olam Hazeh, but I'm the Tachlis. It's all for me. It's all for my sake. So, as it were, the Klal Masayim Moneh, he could, theoretically, also want to have it all. Be the first conceived, so Reish Machshava, and also the firstborn, because the Tachlis of Avoda also is for the sake of bringing it to Olam Haba. It could be all-encompassing. Right? That's why I struggle with Esav. But that's the Indian that Esav, it's, that, of course, the din of Petarech, the din of Bechor, with all the dinim, all the dinim of Bechor, which originally, until Chet Ego, was also the din of what makes a Kayan. Every Bechor was a Kayan. The Nare B'nai Yisrael, Parsha Shotim were the Bechorim. Until because Chet Ego went to Shevet Levi, it was all totally in Peterechem. The Bechor of Olam Hazeh. The Bechor of Olam Hazeh. Right? But the Bechor of Olam Hazeh, the Tachlis is, to get to Olam Haba. So the Bechor of Olam Haba is, as it were, encompasses him. Right, but it's not only the encompasses, the way the Tachlis, is makif around the means as the Reish HaMachshava and the Sof HaMaisa. And then Yaakov intuitively knew Esav's not going to do his job. But now you understand where Esav's coming from. He is the man that was meant to face Olam Hazeh, right? Do the Avodah, right? And also, Be'ikr have to be the one to struggle against the Yetzer Hara. So Yitzchak's not at all put off that he, that even in pregnancy he tried to go to the base Avodah Zarah. Yitzchak is no fool. So he's, he battles a lot in this, but he's the guy. He's the guy that's going to face off with the Yetzer Hara. The Talmud Chacham that sits in the base Medrash, he's immune. He's Dovik in Torah. He's not even in this world completely. So he understands this. That's Esav's job. That's what you need the Midas HaGevura for. to fight with the Yitzhar, struggle with him. Yeah? So now you understand that Rashi, that he wants Bedin. He was a Bechor. He was the Bechor of Machshava, the Bechor of Olam Haba, so the Tzura Olam Haba, and conceived first, and he's Sofa Maisa. But since he encompasses, he wants to have it all, especially since he doesn't trust Esav to do his job. And that explains also how it was Shaykh that he bought Esav out. And now he bought that Bechorah off of him. So now he's the Bechor of Olam Haba and the Bechor of Olam Hazeh. He's the Talmud Chacham and he's the Kain. He's the Machshava and he's the Maisa. And that's the side, that he has to marry Esav Zivug now because he bought him out. He has to marry Leah. And from Leah, who did he have? All the Shvatim that were meant to come from Esav, if he wanted to fry it out. Levi, the Kuna, Yehuda, the Malchus, all those that go out into Olam Hazeh. Right? So now you understand, Yitzchak understands the model that the twinship was supposed to be. So when he said, Hakol Kol Yaakov.
You tell me, is this based on the Maral or is this
It's
based on
a lot of different svarim.
Is it part of it?
So some is in Maral. Maral says his word, the Yisrael is the Acharis. Reishis Goyim Amod Achriso Ade Oved, but he's a Yisrael. We end by a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Where do we end? We're the Gemar. We're the Sof that makes it to God. All the other Asian nations drop out before the end. Yisrael, we're the ones that wind up by a Kodesh Baruch Hu. We make it to the end. Right? So as Yaakov buys money, he becomes the Kayan also. He takes over the Bechor of Olam Hazeh. And that's why, when Yitzchak Avinu heard that Yaakov bought out the Bechor from Esav, Gam Bracheh, so he reaffirms the brachas. But those brachas were all for bounty in Olam Hazeh. Right? The Birkas Avram, which is Torah, right? He never meant to give that to Esav. That was always meant for Yaakov. But the Bechor, which was Kahuna, together with the Kuna, which is Avod Olam Hazeh, was the brachas of bounty of Olam Hazeh. When he hears, Bechorasi Lokach, Hine Lokach Kamas Birchasi, I say, it's Gam Bracheh. If he bought you out from the Bechor, he deserves these brachas.
I mentioned it's a melech, it's very good. Because it's also nice mitzvah, it's nice as a melech. He's trying to illustrate that he's the one who's doing the mitzvahs.
Right. Absolutely. So now you understand when Yaakov Avinu comes in posing as Esav, so here's him talking like Yaakov Avinu. So let me feel your hands. Hakol Kol Yaakov, then calm down. That's a dead giveaway. No, that's the model. The model of Achdus between the two twins was supposed to be Kol, which is Machshava. The Kayadu and Svarim, Kol is even Lamala from Dibur. Shofar, it's like pure thought. Kol, like ideology, the way you talk and your values. Yaakov Avinu was the ideologue, the Talmud Chacham. Esav is the Yadayim, the doing. Hakol Kol Yaakov, Yadayim Yidei Esav. That's the model. That Esav should be talking like Yaakov Avinu, following his ideology, but having these hairy hands, the Koach of Asiyah. Supposed to have the Yidei Esav. So what?
The Siamese twins now all of a sudden.
You thought it was Esav. You thought it was Esav.
No, because Esav is meant to talk like Yaakov. That Yaakov sets the tone, literally, called Kol Yaakov. The model of the twinship is supposed to be the Kol Torah, right? And then the value, Yaakov is the ideologue. He sets the ideology, and Esav is the Asiyah.
Talk like does Yaakov start to do work in the field?
Maybe that's.
Each one of them learns from the other one.
Yeah, well, no, Esav is supposed to learn from Yaakov. Yaakov is a potter from Avodah because he's only in the base medrash. He feels the Yedei Esav. That's the model. There's nothing wrong. I don't know. It's working. Just forget it. It's working. Rivka was wrong. I was right. It's working. Because he knew what Kaichas Esav had. Because Esav was designed to avoida and to struggle against the Yitzhak. So he had a zika to the Yitzhak in order to handle with him. Right? It's working. I was right. I had hope for the partnership, and it's working out. Until he finds out that it was really Yaakov and Esav Mamash sold the Becharis, bought out of avoida. Right? So then Gam Baruch Hu reaffirms the brachas. So now we understand what it means. Merivim benachla shnei olamas. They were fighting over both worlds, right? Because Esav wants to be the end. He wants everything. He wants to be the last word in destiny. Just like he was the first in Olam Hazeh. He wants to be, he wants to remain forever and ever and ever. Doesn't want in Olam Haba, right, that there's a different Malchus, the Malchus of Yisrael, which is really the way it is in Olam Hazeh. The Goyim have reigned, Rov Yemei Olam. Most of history went to them. Shem Yerachim. Bavno Seinu, we could have had Chazal say we could have had a 4,000-year empire. Alpine turned, then Alpine Mashiach. But Bavno Seinu Yotze Mashe Yotzu. Right? And it comes out that the Goyim had Rov Yemei Olam Hazeh. Right? If Mashiach will come now, today, right now, there's 200 some odd years left. That's it. It's right. The Goyim have had Rov Yemei Olam Hazeh. Right? But they won't have Olam Haba. And Olam Haba that lasts forever is only going to be Am Yisrael, one nation. The Gemar, the last word in history, is Am Yisrael. That's what it means. Bazel ligmor malchuso. Esav wants to finish his malchus. He wants his malchus to be the Gemar. He wants that Malchus Edom should be the last word in destiny. Ligmor malchuso. He had Rov Yemei Olam. Rachman Golus Edom, right, 2,000 years. Right? And he wants to be Ligmor Malchuso. He wants to finish. He wants to make it up to the year 6,000. He wants to be the last thing that there was in history. So Ligmor Malchuso, he wants to be the Gemar also. He was the Rashis in Olam Hazeh. He wants to be the Acharis. But Dafka, the Rashis HaMachshava is the Sof HaMaisa. But he wants to be Goymer Malchuso. He wants to be the last word in destiny. The Akev, the end, belongs to us. The Soif, V'hoya Akev Tishmun. Chazal said that Schar Mitzvahs is Be'akev. B'shomram Akev Rav. The Akev belongs to us. You're not going to be the Gemar. We're going to be the Gemar. You had Olam Hazeh. Right? You had the middle. The Gemar belongs to us. The Reshus HaMachshava is the Sof HaMaisa. And that's what it means that they were Meirivim ben Nachal Shnei Olamas. Right? Esav wants Olam Haba in the sense that, not so much Lishma, in so much as to be everything. Right? To be the last word in history. Right? And that's what he wants, Olam Haba, Mitzad being the end, He wants his Malchus to be the last Malchus in history.
He wants there to be nothing beyond him.
Nothing beyond him. And Yaakov wants Olam Hazeh. Because you need Olam Hazeh to get to Olam Haba. It's the prosdor b'fnei Olam Haba. You got to do the mitzvahs in order to get your Olam Haba. You got to do the Avodah. Right? Hayom la'asosam. And you don't have the Mochel HaKavas you don't have Hayom la'asosam. That's why they both want each other's worlds. Right? Shutfus is not working out. And each one wants the other one's world. Right? Yaakov wants Olam Hazeh for the Avodah because he doesn't trust Esav to do it. And Esav wants to be the last word in destiny. I mean, that's what it means. He wants Olam Haba. And so he takes the okay from him. And that's why they called him Yaakov, the Seif. He's the Seif. Because even with Yitzchak, with the optimistic model, but Esav's the middle. Yaakov's the Tachlis. So you call him Yaakov. Hashem Achizas HaOkev. Because even like the model, the Chatchil, the Kamal, that Esav should be the Kohen and should have the Olam Hazeh, the Avodah, right? It's still Yaakov is the Tachlis.
The name is never taken away from him.
Yeah.
He always remained Yaakov.
That's right. Even when he turns Yisrael, always has Yaakov Mitzat, that we're the last word in destiny. The Sof HaMaisa, which is B'machshava Tchila. Right? I think we answered all our kashas. We're just going to say one aura tonight is Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Right, and we have the Chag of Hanukkah coming up. And there's something very interesting about Hanukkah. Right? The Kohanim took up the fight against the Yevonim. They were the Anshik, the early Zugas, It happened sometime between Yosef ben Yochanan and Yosef ben Yoezer, somewhere between them and Yoshua ben Parkanita, barely, roughly, that Kufa. There were these, the Zugas, the very, very early sages from Tkufas Bayis Sheni, but for some reason, the Chashmonaim, who weren't necessarily the biggest Talmidei Chachamim, they were the Kohanim. They took up the struggle. It's interesting, right? Then, there's obviously these Talmidei Chachamim followed the Chashmonaim, It's they're not really from the shalshels of the Messiah and the 40 Deiros from Moshe Rabbeinu to Ravina Ravashi. And now it happens to be historically there was for a certain time based in Shel Hashmonaim that made certain gzeros, but it was temporary. It wasn't the Ikra Messiah. The Rambam mentions Matisyo ben Yochanan in one place in the Hakdama to the Pirush HaMishnayos in the 10 Prokim. So the Shlomo Sein, he mentions that he was a Tana, but it wasn't it wasn't the Ikra, it wasn't the Nasi or the Av Bezdin, right? It was Kohanim. It was the Kohanim versus the Yevonim, and the Talmud Chacham went achar the Kohanim. And it's a davar nifla. It's talking about what's in this week's parasha, because our fight with the Yevonim wasn't about Olam Haba. Right? To them, it was off the table. They didn't believe in a regular Olam Haba that we believe in. Right? And it wasn't the sichsuch. Really. The sichsuch was, what's the shleimus of Olam Hazeh? What makes a man? What's called the good life? What's called the good life? What's called to be a fully developed human being? To them, it was the philosopher or the sportsman or whatever. There's wasn't Chada Machta, the whole Greek guy. There are different divisions in the Greek, but whatever it is, they're musik of the perfection of the Adam, right? The contra to the Yevonim are the Kohanim, because that's the Yid in Olam Hazeh, right? The good life is a life of Avodas Hashem. Good life in Olam Hazeh. Torah is Bechla Olam Haba, right? What's called the good life? What's called to actualize your potential as a human being and to have lived a good life. Here, we say there's no greater actualization of the Adam in Olam Hazeh other than being Oved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And there's nothing, no better way. The good life is a life of Avodas Hashem. That's why Dafka was the Kohanim against the Yevonim. Because the strife was, the machlokas was what's called the shleimus of Olam Hazeh. This is what we want to explain.